Hello everyone and welcome back to your piano lesson. If you are here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda, your virtual piano teacher. If you want to discover interesting facts about me, you can watch the introduction video of this channel. I'm leaving the link in the description of this video, where you will find also the link for my artistic channel, Gianluca Fronda, pianist and composer, if you're interested in original music and covers. Talking about this channel, don't forget to subscribe and let me know about yourself by commenting. Tell me when you have started, if you're finding my channel interesting and you're improving your skills also thanks to my videos. And don't forget also to share with your friends if there is anybody interested in piano music, anybody that you know. So now time to go to our lesson. Today I have to play for you the Cross Hands Etude on page 33 of John Thompson's Easiest Piano Course Part 3. So this Cross Hands Etude on Broken Chords. We are developing even more what has been discovered, let's say in page 28 to 29, applied even more in page 31 with the Broken Chord Etude. Now this one is quite interesting because we are using broken chords, crossing hands, small fragments of phrases even though there is no phrase mark. So anyways, it's quite interesting, it's quite rich, this piece. Let me play first of all at high speed and then we will play slowly, talking about all the technical problems. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's quite interesting. It's very complicated if you don't have that much experience and if you haven't studied very well all the previous ones. Now, before playing it slowly, as I always do, let me talk about all the technical problems that there are. First of all, let's start from dividing this piece in blocks of 2 bars. So you see that we have, maybe on top, we have the broken chords that are played in the first 2 bars. This is C major broken chord starting from the top note. Mind the treble clef here, yeah? So you have the bass clef, but then immediately treble clef. And immediately the right hand over to play these notes in the 3rd bar. And we can consider this one like a block of 2 bars in reply to the first. This following block, and I'm not closing here the line, you see, is ending here, is G7th broken chord made using G, F and B, omitting the D, and in reply we have these 2 bars. As you can see, you start always from the G, G, and also the second block of 2 bars of each big block of 4 starts from the G. This is something that is valid also in the following blocks. This block of 2 bars is identical to the first 2 bars, and also here I was saying we are starting from a G. Look, the 3rd bar of each block of 4, also this one, is starting from a G. Let's repeat again. Each block of 4 is made of 2 blocks of 2 bars each. First bar of the block of 4 starting constantly from the G. Also the last one, you see. But also the 3rd bar of the block of 4 is starting always from a G. This is the 3rd bar of the second block of 4. Starting from a G. This is the 3rd bar of the 3rd block of 4 bars starting from a G. This is the 3rd bar of the last block of 4 bars starting also from a G. If you visualize the piece in this way, like 4 big blocks of 4 bars divided each of them in 2 small blocks of 2 bars, where the first block of 2 is a kind of question and the second block of 2 is a kind of answer, you will definitely play with much more confidence the whole piece, because it's definitely tricky. Let's dive even more into the piece. So we have the first phrase that starts from this C major broken chord, the second block of 4 completing the first half of the piece starting from this G broken chord. The second half starts again from the C major broken chord, imitating completely the beginning of the piece. The second half of the piece is starting also from G, F and B, G, F and B. We have a crescendo in the second half of each phrase, crescendo, crescendo here even diminuendo, crescendo and diminuendo imitating these. There is pretty much imitation in this piece. To repeat and to clarify as much as I can. So divide this piece in blocks of 4. So this is the first block of 4 bars. Then this is another block of 4 bars. This is another block of 4 bars, starting here, ending here. This is the last block of 4 bars. Each block of 4 bars, please divide in 2 small blocks. First half of the block, second half of the block. This is the first half of the second block. This is the second half of the second block. This is the first half of the third block. This is the second half of the third block. This is the first half of the fourth block. This is the second half of the last block. You can consider then the piece in this way. The first 8 bars are to be considered like the first half of the piece. The second half, the second block of 8 bars, starting from here, if you pay attention, you will notice that it's starting exactly in the same identical way. So in the same identical way, the beginning of the second half is starting with the same identical notes of the beginning. Obviously, the reply to the beginning of the second big half of the piece is obviously different than this one, yeah? There's a difference. Here we have, pay attention, this is a very important point. Here this note is called A sharp. That is exactly this one. A sharp is the key that you have in general played and discovered as B flat. But indeed, here, look, imitating anyways, you see the first reply, is called B flat. And which one is the difference now? Why here has been called A sharp and here B flat? Here is going up. And you will discover that this is something commonly done. When the note has to raise, has to go over, has to pass on, it's definitely clever to call it sharp. When the note has to solve going down, you will discover that it's definitely common to you to call the note using the flat sign. But these are much more complicated things that will be discovered in the future. This is the only thing that I think that was supposed to be added and to be kept in account. Let me now play it slowly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Stop. If you have any question, if you need any further explanation, feel free to comment and to let me know. So study carefully, slowly, 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 prepare the thumb passages always, and make exercises out of the small moves, getting inspiration from all the exercises that I've suggested you in the previous pieces. Indeed, if it's the first time that you're watching one of my tutorials, I suggest you to watch some of the previous ones, where you can get tips, advices, ideas regarding how to study properly the pieces. Because obviously I suppose that the students that have been watching all my tutorials previously are quite used to my way of explaining things and my method of study, of practice. Anyways, if it's the first time you're landing on my channel thanks to this video, don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.